Hello, my name is Catherine Meyer, and we are going to be going over an integrated marketing communication plan for Gracie Lou's Hometown Bakery. So what is an integrated marketing communication? Integrated marketing communication is an approach to brand communications where the different modes work together to create a seamless experience for the customer and are presented with a similar tone and style that reinforces the brand's core message. So this is basically taking different avenues that you go out and you talk to internal and external customers in the same types of fashion, and you make sure that everyone is doing everything the same way. An integrated marketing communication plan process. First thing you do is you start with setting your business goals. It is very important to set goals that you can reach, that are overall goals for the business. The next thing you need to do is that you're going to review your marketing strategies. So you want to see what you did last year, how you performed last year, how your competitors performed. You want to look at your marketing mix that you used last year, what was working, what wasn't. The next thing you need to do is a SWOT analysis. And what a SWOT analysis is to look at your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. So you look at your own business and you look at what your strengths were, what you did well, where you're weak, as in maybe your customer service isn't as good as it should be, things like that. The next thing you want to do is you want to identify your target audience. Getting down into your key segments and what your relationship is with them helps you to get to that, to personalize your messages for that specific audience. And targeting allows you to get to specific ways of doing that. And this will also help you with your approaches as we pick out channels and things that we're going to do with that. The next thing you should do is select objectives for each piece. So you need to do SMART objectives. These are specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. Having these types of things helps you to set goals and know exactly what you're trying to measure against. If you don't have these, then you don't have anything to measure towards. The next thing you need to look at is your communication strategies. How are you going to be communicating with your audience? Are you going to be using a website? Are you going to be using email campaigns? Things of that nature. The next thing you need to look at is determining your tactics. And I'm sorry, I got those wrong. So your tactics are your email and your website and your social media and which channels. Your communication strategies is how are you going to be speaking to each one of these customers. The next thing you have to do is you need to determine your budget. Budget usually does have everything to do with which tactics you can use and what strategies you can define. So having a budget and knowing how much you can put towards that is very important. If you don't have the budget to do everything, then we need to scale back. So those are some things we have to look at. And then we need to evaluate the effectiveness of each of our campaigns. So we need to look at each thing and know whether it worked for us or it didn't. So setting goals. So the first thing you need to do is you're going to be setting business goals. And your business goals define the overall direction of the business. A goal that all IMC goals are set to help in accomplishing. So every one of your integrated marketing communications plans and objectives will help to support your overall business goals. So the next thing is your IMC goals or objectives. So these are the SMART goals or SMART objectives. So this is the basis for all of our strategy going forward. It'll be used to measure the effectiveness of each tactic and overall strategy. It will allow us to adjust campaigns to meet objectives, and it'll track against the overall business goals as stated before. So there are some common objectives to our what we do in any IMC plan. They are usually to create brand awareness, increase market share, build traffic to the various channels that you have, or to increase sales. Determining a budget and setting one up is very important. So what the budget functions for is it shows us how our marketing efforts are funded. So we need to know how much we're going to be putting towards our budget for our marketing efforts. It also determines who will benefit from the programs, whether it is a specific department or it's your employees, or if it's just basically exactly what the program, your customers. And then there are various purposes for the budget. It'll help us control our resources. It'll help us prioritize and coordinate activities. So whatever various channels that we're doing and what we can fit within that budget. It'll help us to communicate plans to all stakeholders so that they know what we are able to do. And it will provide visibility to the company on the performance of our marketing plans, so that whether we're within budget, below budget, over budget, that will tell us the company performance on this IMC plan. There are different ways to measure your IMC plan, but the main goal or main reason that you use measurement is to measure your campaign's effectiveness. Because you really need to know what is working, what's not, if it actually did what we planned on doing. So in meeting your goals, are you meeting your sales goals? Are you meeting your market share goals, your budget goals, return on investment, making a profit? Are the channels and tactics working together? So is everything doing exactly what you're wanting them to do? So the elements of marketing performance is sales analysis, market share analysis, expense analysis, and financial analysis. And there are some indirect measures like tracking lost business or tracking complaints, to know who is complaining and where people are with your company and how they feel about your company. For GracieLu's is a hometown bakery with a wide variety of specialty cakes, pastries, breads, and coffee products. The main goal is acquisition with secondary goals of awareness and retention. Some SMART goals for the company could be increase customer base by 15% over last year, build a Facebook page and a following of at least 1,000 followers by the end of the year, and increase sales to current customers by 20% over last year. So each one of these goals is specific, measurable, actionable, reasonable, and time-based. Here we've identified a couple of audiences for GracieLu's. The first one would be local residents within 25 to 30 miles of the bakery in middle to upper income families between the ages of 25 to 60. This will reach all of the customers that really like specialty cakes and coffees. The next audience would be special events like weddings, parties, bar mitzvahs, any type of graduation parties, things like that, where you would do specialty cakes or desserts or things like that. And the last one would be able to go to area restaurants and retail outlets and possibly get your goods in at those areas. Some channels that we're suggesting that we need to use for GracieLu's is first a website, because it will build brand awareness. It gives information for existing and new customers. It makes it easy for them to find you and be able to research you before they ever even come see you. We can reference the website on packaging, cards, and flyers. And we can optimize the website and including claiming profiles on Yelp and other review sites. Even just claiming your profile as a business on the different search engines will help your site and be able to promote your company, especially locally. The next thing what we'll do is we'll look at some packaging, and we want to make sure that we have unique packaging that's in line with the overall brand that you have, and make sure that everything is consistent. We want to make sure all of your boxes, business cards, flyers, all of them look like they're very consistent. The next thing we're going to make sure is that you have a storefront and in-store signage. This draws your customers from the street into inside. Some other things that we could do, even with your storefront, is because bakeries smell really well. On really nice days, just open the doors, and that should be able to draw some customers in. And the storefront and in-store signage reinforces the products and what you sell, just by basically putting this stuff out. You could also put in a type of put in a display in the window that will also help people come in. The next channel was print and flyers. So this is to post in the store and around town. You can also have partnerships with your local restaurants and put those types of things in there as well. Another thing is a type of networking is to host local events, possibly at the recreation center, different sporting events there, go to the schools, festivals. If you do this and you get more in tune with the community, the more they'll know you, more people will come. The next thing is social media. You already have a good word of mouth to have started your business. So social media will just build on that and amplify what you've already started. And then we should do some additional networking within the community, whether it's joining the Chamber of Commerce or doing something like that. That will also be a good channel to help promote your company. The unique selling proposition that we can use on all branding and channels, this is one idea. It's uptown coffee and treats for all to eat. It's something kind of quick and easy for everyone to say, cute, bring people in. So most of the content that we have on your site and in all of your flyers will be informational, conversational, and should be kind of entertaining, kind of like the little slogan that we have. We want to entice customers in. We want to make everything customer-centric. We could also create some blogs that have recipes for things that complement the products you sell. So the breads and rolls and things like that you sell, you could have recipes about chili or soups or different things that would really work well with those. Some other content that we might be able to do is tutorials on cake decorating, cleaning pans, cooking tips, keeping things from sticking, or small appliances that young couples might need. That fits into your 20-year-old areas. We could create some how-to videos and post them online. This may come a little bit later. If we expand into YouTube, it might work really well there. And we also want to promote some specialty items, different events that you're having, where you're going to be. If you put those on your website and in your social media, that will let people know when you're going to be at one of these events or if you're hosting one of the events. So not only do we want to have a unified message that we are putting out to the community, we also want to have a unified message that you're doing to your internal stakeholders. So you want to make sure that you're looking at your company values. Let everyone know that your customers are valued. So your internal stakeholders are obviously the owners, partners, and the employees that you have. So to reach these stakeholders, we mostly do this through weekly meetings and an employee handbook that address ways to communicate with customers. This will feel more like a family that can immediately address any issues that would arise out of the norm with current employees. Informal training when each employee is hired will help in controlling what is expected. Keeping an open door policy where employees can ask questions, encouraged to give feedback, and their ideas are taken seriously will help in keeping a positive morale within your company. Making the employees feel valued is very important. Creating a script for employees to address your customers can help with initial training, but do encourage them to be polite and friendly and to keep the store values and customer service top of mind. You can also use email, and you can send notes in the paychecks every week and tell people when they've done a good job. This way it'll keep your unified message that you put outside, inside, and all of your employees will be in sync. I wanted to address some specific concerns about using digital. Basically, social and digital marketing channels are more cost effective for small businesses than just traditional print and So there are some things that you can do with this. If you look at some other hometown bakeries, you'll see that they do have websites and they're showing photos of their products and they put promotions online, whether it be on social or the website. This helps them to connect with the community more. And and you've already got a word of mouth that you're currently using, and it has really worked well for you because you went from your home to being having a storefront, and these digital channels will only amplify that. They will allow you to reach your current customers, their friends, their family, other people within the community. It could even expand outside of that. A couple of statistics I have here is online reviews. They help you determine what your customers like. So if you see what they're liking, what they're putting on your social pages, then you can determine what products you should do more of. I mean, I know you can see that as they're buying stuff, but if people say, "Oh, gee, that sounds like a great recipe. I've shared it." If they've shared that 1,000 times, then you know that someone really, really likes that. And they can influence their friends to visit and buy. Definitely from online reviews. One statistic here says 53% of adults follow particular brands online, and 60% of those users on social networks write reviews. So this shows you right here that people do write reviews on your brand, whether you're online or not. And these reviews, if they are good, they can send you further out into the community and build your following, build your business, and bring more people in, customers into your company. So as we go through and we build out this IMC plan a little bit more, and through the whole process of putting everything together, we want to set up weekly meetings so that we can discuss our progress, come up with new ideas. We'll review what is working, what is not. We'll set up social listening for you so that we can see what brand, how many people are talking about you, where are you things. You can head off anybody that's maybe having some issues, or that we can do that for you. We'll set up email. We'll set up your email campaigns. The website. We'll speak through email and phone. We'll have an overall-wide company meeting to discuss all of our ideas. Maybe get some ideas from your employees. They can be pretty creative sometimes, and you can find some different ideas from them. And then we'll do some monitoring and reporting of the progress towards our goals. There are some questions that we'll need to go over before we start on the IMC plan that is specific for you, so that we can get this down that is exactly what you need and we can start implementing. So the first thing we need to know is, what is the overall budget you can allocate to the IMC plan? What time would you be able to put into social media, or would you need a dedicated resource? Do you have a current mailing list or a customer list? Do you have a way of storing the customer information? Is your customer base ethnically diverse? How so? This can depend on what we may need to do with some of your print and what we do put online. So how large do you wish to grow your company, and how fast? This will affect on what items that we do first, and whether you can meet this. So the next one is, how many employees do you currently have? And are you able to expand to meet increased demand? So if you get a lot of people coming in, we need to make sure that you're able to do that. So that may mean that we need to tailor what we're doing for you if it is getting too far out. How many events do you do in a month, in a year? This will help us in targeting your special event audiences. And do you currently belong to any clubs or organizations? This will help in your networking. And maybe we can find a list of things so that you can join some other things as you can. I want to thank you for your time. If you have any questions or comments, you can either let me know or you can contact me at this address. And I am also attaching an IMC plan and proposal for you to review after this presentation. Thank you.